Vakailavo Ena Vakaraubuka, Radio Bulan 2 San Francisco. Mekauti kanta vatamai.
Kena maram zarbo kena ngone lo totok na tumo na mati lo totok na lingo ni tele waitambu na kabde ben karabe ni tai radio bulan do bata sa onon donu na kloko ya na no de programu bagaro tagi cingoni na reda sa ciku serangan gue matanda o ya na Vakailavo Ena Vakaraubuka baka sabore taga ciko na bulo binak ngo Asian American Native Hawaiian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month ciko na buku di baka samoya na no da bulang into kai ciko bagaro taga may bia una Mr. Brad Hamada, financial advisor kili lebu and nonda to puno lebungo California ke San Francisco. Mr. Hamada, thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon as we'll be talking about something that is kind of new to Fijians. Once again, welcome to Radio Bulan Dovata. Basically, we'll talk about financial literacy this afternoon. For the record, we might be wondering who is this gentleman on screen right now on Radio Bulan Dovata. Could you just, we welcome you, please just explain a bit about yourself, your heritage. I've explained earlier that this month is Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I think me and you are in that category this afternoon, so we are pleased to welcome you. And please, could you just explain a bit about yourself, where you're originally from, and other features about you before we proceed with our program proper this afternoon, Mr. Hamada.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. My name is Brad Hamada. I actually grew up in Hawaii, was born and grew up there. I went there through high school, and once high school concluded, I decided, okay, Hawaii was a little bit small for me, maybe. So I came up to California, and in California, I did my undergraduate and my master's degree in engineering. So I did an undergraduate at Santa Clara. I did a master's at Stanford, and I was on my way to my engineering career. And then, sometimes we are at a workplace and maybe there's some politics and stuff like that. And so I kind of decided that it wasn't for me, but a friend had introduced me to financial literacy. And I found it really interesting because I myself, as an engineer, kind of thought that I knew what I needed to know. But once I became educated, I realized that most people don't know how money works. They're not financially literate. And just talking to your company's 401k provider doesn't really give you all the information you need to make better decisions for your future. So, it started as a hobby almost, and then it became a passion of mine. Now I've been doing financial literacy for over 18 years. And I love it. And I appreciate being on your show and being able to share a little bit about financial literacy with your listeners.
Thank you very much. Binawali sa rabambutan ni sa Antonia, Mr. Brad Hamada. Okay, we'll move on. Basically, we might be listening in. Okay, talk about financial literacy, the very basic of it, so that our listeners will just like kind of have a hang of it.
Okay. So the basics of financial literacy, this is what I believe is that nobody is born financially literate.
Exactly.
Right. So people that, so unless you've actually taken a financial literacy course or you've taken financial education courses, you really are not, most people are not knowledgeable about really how money works. So a lot of things that we pick up from family, from friends. You get stock tips from the guy at work next to you. You get, someone in your family is doing some type of real estate investment. You have a colleague that talks about crypto. And so a lot of times we have all of these products and things that are thrown around, but we really don't understand the very foundation of our finances, right? So instead of talking about what financial literacy is about is number one, it's about making a commitment to learn. And number two, it's about taking action. Above and beyond that, all the resources are out there for you to learn, but it's just a matter of, it's kind of like It's just a matter of saying, okay, I really don't know everything that I need to know. So how can I learn it? And with our organization, I think it's really great because we start from the very beginning, just the basics of saving money and understanding how to save money, the mindset behind setting goals, because the reason that we save money is to achieve goals. So if we don't have goals, it's very difficult to be disciplined to save money. And we start to build from there, and we start to understand now how to take care of our family. We start to understand other items that come into play, like healthcare. We start to think about the next generation and how we can make sure that everything that we build in our lifetime, we can pass that on. And it really starts to build on itself. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, is because nobody knows it all, not even myself. But as a financial community with a financial literacy emphasis, we can all learn from each other. And that's the most important thing, right? Nobody knows everything, but together we all know everything.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamada. You basically you're saying we were not born knowing how to save money, how to plan things regarding money. No one was financially literate from the start. If just saying, I just moved here to America. Just moved here to America without any savings. I just started work. What could be one of the basic places that I could go to invest, or for me myself, how could I begin this to save my money?
Okay.
Have you studied anything, or some of your clients or some people that you have talked to, they've come back to you? Oh, this point that you gave me proved a very positive move for me going forward. Now I'm beginning to be financially literate, and I know how to save my money.
Okay, great question. So, in the beginning, I tell people the key to saving a lot of money, which we all want to do,
Yes.
is you have to start by saving a little bit of money. And so I tell people, hey, if you make let's say you make $20 an hour,
Yes.
right? Can you put aside $10 a day? So from like 8 to 8:30, can you save $10 a day and discipline yourself to do that? Now, you're not going to save up thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars right away, but you're going to start to save up a little bit, and you're going to start to build that habit. So once you can start saving a little bit, the other thing that I tell people is you need to have resources that are going to help you reach your goals, because it's not just good enough to save $10 a day and put it in a can and bury it in the backyard, right? We have to do something with it.
Yes.
And so that's where financial literacy comes in, because now that you're saving money, now you actually have a future, right? You have a financial future that you can build, but now you have to be literate on where to save it. And I tell people, we do workshops on a daily basis, multiple times a day, and we encourage people to join us and attend our workshops and learn with us. Because I think over a very short period of time, we're going to work for 30 or 40 years. But the question is, could you spend, let's say 30 or 60 days to pick up the basics, so that as you save money, as you're saving your, let's say $5 or $10 a day, then you can start to understand where to put it. Right. And that's the real basics. I tell people that most people don't fail financially because it's because they don't start. It's not because they never saved enough, it's because they never started on the right path. So those were the two things that I recommend. Number one, make the commitment to start to save money, $5 to $10 a day, and then look at resources, or look for resources. And again, you and Una as well, I'm very close friends with her, are able to get back in touch with me. So we would love to be able to host your listeners to a workshop and to start to learn for themselves. And I think that from there, once you start to see what you can do with your money, instead of being addicted to spending, many people get addicted to saving.
Yes. Let's go back to what you just said. When I get my check, say I get 1,000 plus every week, we just have a tendency to spend. And so you're saying if we attend some of your workshops, you can redirect us into an environment like you say, just start from the basics, $5 to $10. If you earn around $20 an hour, is there any proof that this is working right now to some people?
Oh, you know what? Right now in our financial community, we actually have a private financial community on Facebook. We have about 80,000 people on it.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, it's a private community because we just but when people come on board, you start to see how people, once you can start to save a little bit, then you can start to pay off your debt. You can start to build your retirement. You can start to save for your kids' education. So everything having to do with money starts with the concept of making the commitment to save. And so, yes, we have thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands over the last 18 years of people that have benefited from these concepts and ideas. And I tell people, you know what? Come see what it's about. What's the worst thing that can happen is that you say, hey, it doesn't work for me, but you have a ton of money saved. Right? So I tell people there's no such thing as, oh, I saved too much money. I've never heard somebody say I saved too much. It's always I should have saved more.
I should have saved.
And so
I should have saved more. Or say, like I'm 50 years old, and you're saying to save $5 every week. I must be pondering. Well,
$5. Let's say $5 a day, or $5.
$5 a day, even $5 a day, or $10 a day. I might be, if I'll do the maths about that. If I'm gone by 70, it will just be a few thousands of dollars.
So yes and no. That's a good question. And so the reason I tell you, I say, hey, why don't we start to save, let's say $5 or $10 a day? Because what I see happen with the people that in our community and stuff, when they can save $10 a day, they realize, hey, you know what? I can save $15 a day. I can save $20 a day.
So that's like the base amount. You just like throw it to us. You can do this, and it's up to the individual whether to add up to it. After doing all the bills and everything, so you just like entrenching a system to us where we save a lot and less spending.
Yes, and actually, the what you just mentioned about after the bills, I tell people, when I have a budget, my budget includes my savings. So if at the end of the month I don't have anything left, I've already saved the money that I need to. So instead of saving what's left, I save in the beginning, and then I spend what's left. And so if at the end of the month I run out of money, hey, I can't go out to eat. I can't go out and have a really nice dinner. Maybe I just have to eat at home. I have to cook myself. But my future is secured because that money is saved before any other money is spent.
So you're saying all the money that I will save, then what time will I spend it?
When will you spend it? That's a good question.
Yeah.
And somebody told me this. They said, the reason that we save is to spend.
Yeah.
Just not today. Right? We're going to spend it into the future. And so, when people I encourage people to start the process because when you so now that you're saving, as you start to understand how money works, when we count, right, our number system, we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But money, when it grows 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So money grows differently than we count. It grows differently than we think it does, and it can grow a lot faster than people think. And so that's why I encourage people to come learn. We talk about something called the Rule of 72. For your listeners, they can Google it. It's a very simple concept about how your money will compound over time and how it grows a lot faster than most people anticipate it will.
Mr. Hamada, okay, I'm saving. Like you say, it will not grow overnight. You need to go into investment. Like I'm saving up 50 grand, and it takes a lot of time. So, what is one better place to invest? Like there's all these startup companies and all, they say this, invest in this stock, try this, try that. Sometimes we are just not like, we were not thinking, well, where should I go and invest my money?
So the big challenge in the financial industry to date has been the fact that in order to get your money invested by a professional, you have to have a lot of money, right? You have to have, if you don't have 100,000, then they don't want to talk to you. But these days I say, you know what? You don't have to depend on them. You can come and learn. And so, I don't want to, I'm not skirting the question, but I say that where you will save the money will depend and may be different than where I save the money. But that's why if you're educated, then you can make better decisions for yourself, and I can make better decisions for myself, because everyone's a little bit different. So through the education process, you will learn about the basics of money, but you will also learn how to build up and where to save it as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamada. Sibina ono ena tinika ono na minito tol tal chungana ni vitalo te kichu ni lapo ena kabe de venga rapi ding dai. Abore ta Mr. Hamada vikenta ndora kabe na ka tiga bung matanga $5 si China dollar ndona singa marroe ra matanga no musente. Oke tarin ko ndona tarroya ke bako sa marroe ndona mu labu lebu mo nangai bako tumbura baka ibe. Abore ta ko mo nango ngai ngole nabuli mera no likila bina kasarken. So basically you saying Mr. Hamada as you are saving your money and you try to go and invest, you are encouraging the listeners of Radio Mbulun Dobata. One day we can set up a date where you can come and tell us the next level where we can go and try and grow our 50 grand, my 50 grand that I'm saving to make me into a multi-millionaire. What say?
Absolutely. I mean, I cannot tell you that there's a specific product, but we can go deeper into the concept so that when you understand how many works more, then you can start to decide for yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Hamada. Yeah. Okay. Basically, we are all migrants, and this month is Asia Pacific Islands and Hawaiian and our month. When we come to America, we want to make it big. And make it big, not only in terms of anything else, but the basic fundamental of it is money. Money, money, money. Money moves everything. So you were basically saying, we talk about financial literacy. So what is a nice age, like, to start saving?
Okay, the answer to this is simple. Now. Because I tell people that if you're 20 years old and you don't save, when you're 30, you'll regret not saving at 20. Some people are in their 40s or 50s. Maybe some people are in their 60s and they feel like, well, I'm too old.
Yes.
I say, well, if you don't start saving money now, you're only going to be older later too. Right? So I tell people we should always be saving money, but as soon as possible. So for people that are younger, money, they have more time, so their money can work harder for them. For us that are a little bit older, I'm going to be turning late 40s at the end of this month, and for people that don't have as much time, then you have to save a little bit more money. But the answer is simple. The answer is we should all be saving money all the time. And when you're financially educated, then you will know how much you need to save. For somebody who's younger, maybe $5 or $10 a day is good. For somebody who's older, they might have to save $15 or $20 a day. So, but it also depends. Yeah.
The answer is now. Start saving now.
The answer is now
for your future. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Hamada. I think all of our listeners, this is one thing that I can be bold enough to say. Plenty of us, the Fijians, we find it hard is to basically save. I asked Una one time, and she said, because back in the islands, everything is there for us. So money is it's not a big issue for us. If we need to eat, we'll just go to our plantation. If we need to have something from the sea, we have abundance of resources from there. So when we come to America, it is kind of different. Money spins everything here. So we were talking about saving, is one thing that we must do here in America. So, can you just tell us the places where you go to in the Pacific Islander community? Any projects, or any seminars that you're putting up, or where can we find you to further our knowledge on financial literacy?
Actually, yeah. So I do teach financial literacy in some of the local libraries. I teach at Palo Alto Library. I teach at Mountain View Library, and I teach at South San Francisco Library. So I do workshops and seminars at those locations. And if there are other people that, maybe if you're in the East Bay or whatnot, then they can reach out to the radio station, and maybe the radio station can connect us, and we can grab a cup of coffee and talk a little bit more on a one-on-one basis if they're not able to make the workshops, or I'd love to make the workshop schedule available to you guys to offer to your community as well.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamada, for enlightening us about being financial literate, especially our listeners on Radio Bulan Dua Bata. Any last words before we conclude this program this afternoon?
Yeah, the biggest thing that I'll repeat this. The biggest challenge I see is that people don't start. So just like anything, if you want to go on a journey, you got to take the first step. And this being financially secure is a journey. And so leverage the resources. Make the commitment to save money. Reach out to the radio station. They can get in touch with me. We'll get you on workshops there, and we can help you. We can help you start to take the next steps. So we're open to helping everybody. There's no income requirement for what we do. We're willing to share our resources and help your community.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamada, once again from the listeners of Radio Bulan Dua Bata, for enlightening us about financial literacy. This afternoon, we do hope, if another time, me ask you to come on board once again to tell about how to save money. I think you will always say yes to us. What say? Until the next time, we thank you once again, and have a memorable afternoon, Mr. Hamada.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Vakailavo Ena Vakaraubuka, Radio Bulan Dua Bata, San Francisco. Mekauti Kanda Vatamai.